Hello, August. How are you? It's Past Podcast. We'll be recording every day for the month of August. Having to remember not to say April is an adjustment since I just did this a couple of months ago. But this is the past, or the Past Podcast. And we're podcasting each day in August. So check out the show. You might find something new. Episode 97 of the Past Podcast, take 3. What's going on, y'all? Past Podcast, BT back at it again, doing the podcast every day in August. Looks like we might be doing a new task called Weds or Beds. So it's either going to be blogging every day in September or writing every day in September. I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. Before we continue, a few house rules or house duties. The Past Podcast is hosted and posted on Spreaker.com. If you want to check out any previous episodes, Spreaker.com/Brate Podcast. If you're not already a part of the blog or the writing side of things and actually going to view the podcast and you don't have access to Spreaker and you want to just go directly to the website, I do have my website for pastpodcast.com where you can go back and listen to any previous episodes, slowly getting that uploaded and updated because I do want to have that ready. I have a goal to get that completed by the end of the month, if not next month. So that will be placing some good challenges in front of me for that. So also the microphone being used is the Blue Yeti microphone. Love it. Can't deny it. Can't live without it. It's been my sanity and my everything. So it's helped me get through a lot of what I've been doing. All right. So we have a writing conversation to have, there's a writing conversation to be had today. Today is about my listeners who like writing to do possibly participate in what's called a writing challenge. So Brian, what's a writing challenge? I'm so glad you asked. I'm part of a group called the Lightbulb Club, and I will share the link for that group in the show notes. So if you are possibly interested in wanting to be part of it, you just send a request on Facebook, and if you're approved, then you'll be joined into the group. But I'm going to be giving you kind of the side piece to it, where there's a blog that's in. I'm going to share. So I'll share two things. I'm going to share the actual blog that's posted regarding writing. And then I'm also going to share the link if you want to join the Facebook group or if you're interested in participating. Because this group is good because it's for anyone who's into blogging, anyone who's designing or creating, any artists, any writers, anything that you're doing is your passion. What got me pulled into the group, obviously, is because I do podcasting. And the person who hosts the group is actually she does a podcast as well. So it's kind of like a mixture. She does her podcast and she blogs the podcast. If any of you know or were around, there was a time when I was attempting to do that, and let's just say it didn't really go well. I think, and I can say this now because it's just a true statement. When I was working on my podcast that way back then, it truly caused a mental consumption on me. Because I had the effort towards doing it, but I didn't have the love at a certain point. And that's what can kind of hurt or harm what you're trying to work on when it comes to podcasting or branding. So that being said, the group, she shared a request or shared a challenge to, that's a pretty attainable challenge. You're mainly, the objective is, and I'm gonna paraphrase a lot of it because it is a pretty lengthy, well, not lengthy, but it's a pretty detailed breakdown. So basically what you'll be doing is, your goal is to write every single day in September. Now your writing can be as short or as long or as detailed as you prefer it to be. Now I did, and I realized doing this that I may change mine because I just realized what I'm likely going to do, and this will help me with doing the challenge as well. Initially, I was my challenge I placed. So what you do is you're aiming for a specific either word count or time frame. Prime example is I plan to complete 1,000 words a day. So when I initially did mine, I looked at it and stated as, well, you know what, I'm gonna do 15 minutes a day. So 15 minutes a day, writing wise, is not that bad, but it's also the sitting and thinking and breaking down processes and stuff like that. So what I will do instead is I'm gonna do the thousand words, because what I have and what I'm sharing this with y'all because this is something that a lot of people don't utilize or don't realize. If you have a WordPress account or if you blog or write, you can always make a blog that is private. If you don't want, now I know it's first thing you're thinking is, well, why would I want my blog to be accessible but still be private? Well, the thing with that is you may have wanted to write something and you couldn't get anywhere else to write it or share it at that moment, so you wanted to get it out, and you have that option. And you may not want to put it on paper. But you the writing challenge, what I'm going to do is the image that is shared for it, Martine, I'm hoping you don't mind. I'm going to share your image. Make sure be sure to tag you in that as well, so when I go back and listen, I'll remember to do that in the show notes, and I have the link. Like I said, the link for the Facebook group will be shared, including the link for the actual the link for the Facebook page will be shared, as well as the link for the blog that talks about ways of kind of getting the ball rolling for writing, because she gives like why writing is so important. And I think sometimes we don't realize that there is an importance to writing or expression. Like, I always mention the story, and this is what I sidetracked on, and it kind of got out of hand, but it'll be kind of reeled in a little bit better this time. But I always remember this conversation when I was in community college a few years back. And one of my classmates was in class with me, and he literally said it to me with a straight face. He was like, "You're going to be a writer, or writing is your thing." Because I always, regardless of what time of day it was, I had a notebook, or I had a piece of paper, or I had a pen, because I always was writing about something. And people, even to this day, I get the weird look when I sit down and I'm having lunch, or I finish eating lunch, and I'm like, well, you know what? I got a little bit of time. Let me chop into this book real quick and do some writing. And that's basically what happens. Now I think it can be more, more intimate if I'm journaling, but I'm journaling using my tablet. Because I have a keyboard, and I had a tablet, and just kind of can sit there and just go for it and let the thoughts kind of flow. Because most times, I've shared this, the cheat code is play some classical music and just relax, and the rest of it just kind of comes together. Because the hardest part about writing that a lot of people don't understand or don't realize is we don't know how to, but shutting down or unplugging from the world to get it completed the way we need to have it completed helps writing a lot easier. Back in my day, back in like late 90s, early 2000, Bolt was my blogging source. AOL Journals was my blogging source, or my writing source. I would publicly write things, and if I wanted it to be shared, I would share it. If it was private, it stayed private, and that was the end of it. It wasn't really much anything extra behind that, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It turned out being one of the best ways for me to kind of vent a little bit and get some thoughts off my out of my system, and not bottle in a lot of what I was feeling. So I'm going to leave that as a challenge to you all. Like I said, the blog that was written is called "Why Writing is Essential for a Successful Business and a Challenge." So it's going to kind of break down different things as to what you want to write about, why writing is important, and then it'll be a challenge. Now the challenge will actually be listed on the blog, so you don't have to join the group. But if you don't join the group and you're looking to do this and you're interested in it, hit me up. passpodcastbt@gmail.com, or you can go to any of my social medias at Past Podcast, and I'm willing to work with you if you're willing to do your part. And I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to pester you about getting it done, but I think if it's something that needs to be shared or something to address, and it can help you possibly get, your engine flowing on what you need to work on or what you possibly want to work on, then that helps things out a lot easier. And of course, if you go to the blog, it shows the link for going to joining the Light Bulb Club group. So I am glad that everyone has been tuning in. I have been quietly, and I will say this because it's important to be shared, I have seen, and I don't like to see, but I've been stat sniping a little bit, trying to kind of get an idea of, if anybody has been watching or has been listening or downloading. And the number one thing I can always say is I'm very thankful and very appreciative of any feedback or anyone that makes an attempt to check out any shows. Because I know that you could be doing other things. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Nah, you could be listening to other podcasts, but you're taking time to listen to this show, and it's greatly appreciated. Some of you do not understand the extent of it. To add to that, and I guess this will kind of be two segues. I have been following the track, and one of the guys he actually invited me as a guest on his show, and I loved it. His show was initially Shop Talk, and it's since been changed to Must Be Two Sides. And I'm not sure if he's listening or not, but if he is, or if he has been listening to any shows, I love the rebranding. The change is, it's you. Like, I'm feeling it. That's the best way I can say it. So there's that portion, and the other side of it, I had something else, and it's like it's gone that fast. I don't like when I do that, because I had a great thought and now it's gone. Networking, I guess I can just say networking goes a long way, and it's just where I'm at with that. I do want to say this to any of my friends who have been kind of maintaining and doing their blogs, their podcasts. Keep it up. Like, just continue what you're doing. And also, if you want to be successful in getting more done, be willing to, take those steps and work on getting that extra piece done. So that's what I'm going to leave you all with today. I could sit here and keep talking and rambling on and 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 on. But I digress. So, my other part is I'm surprised I haven't let the window open yet, because I think every time I open the window, that offers like an extra dosage of sanity. So it might not have been the other thing, but I don't know. But as always, if you are not following Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I'm negotiating if I'm gonna resurrect Snapchat. I don't know yet. If I do, it'll be under a different alias, obviously, because my personal Snapchat wasn't the thing. I did it, but no, everything ain't for everybody. So like I said, hopefully everyone has a good Friday. Like I said, and I mentioned this in the last attempt, but take 3 should be good. If you have not been keeping up with sports and you need a quick dosage of sports of sorts, definitely tune in tomorrow. have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to make sure that I don't cut any corners on the podcast tomorrow. So with that being said, everyone be good, stay blessed, be positive, do something worthwhile, enjoy this Friday. If you haven't already, give someone a worthwhile message and let them make them feel special about themselves. And on that note, y'all take care. Past Podcast signing out. To have the opportunity. Another episode complete. Another show shared. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you checking out any current shows or previous episodes. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can look me up on the Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter under Past Podcast. If you'd like to go to the website, it is available at pastpodcast.com, where you can listen to this episode as well as previous episodes. Until next time, y'all take it easy.